Who wants to live in a brand new home with one of the lowest tax rates in Georgetown, Texas? Well, let me introduce Highcrest Meadow West. This community only has 90 homes available. It's that small of a pocket community. And Pointe Homes and Chesmar Homes are the two builders building in this community. Pointe has 30 homes that they're building, and Chesmar Homes has 60 homes available. Now, the last email I got from Pointe was that they had sold 8 already, and they're down to their last 22, which includes the model that I did do a tour of that I will link in the description so you could take a look at that. So I think as more people become aware of this area and the low tax rate, the demand's definitely going to pick up. Now, see, this is the view of the surrounding already well-established subdivisions that are, almost all around this community. So one big advantage to this community is that because there's not a lot of homes, you're not going to have construction for the next couple of years like some of these other master plan communities where there's thousands of homes. So there's going to be construction for the next couple of years. 90 homes is not a whole lot when it comes to like a master plan community. And for Chesmar Homes, let's read a little bit about what they're offering. So their homes start from the high 300s, so $379,000 to be exact, and they have floor plans anywhere ranging from 1,500 square feet almost close to 3,000 square feet. So they're probably going to have a home that fits your needs when it comes to space. And they have right now 11 different floor plans to choose from. I did not get a chance to walk through Chesmar Homes because the time of day I went, but I did check out Pointe Homes, so I will have that video of what the model looks like in the description. And you can see, like, this is what your neighborhood's going to look like, right? You're not on a busy street. It was very quiet when I was driving around. The only traffic you would get are the people who live here. So that's a huge plus, especially if you're sensitive to noise and you just don't like to experience a lot of traffic is in where you live. That's going to be a huge plus. The geographical location of where this community sits, I think, is a huge plus, a huge positive on why the demand, once people find this community out more, is going to increase, right? So a little bit of facts about the community. You have the 1.79 tax rate. That is definitely on the low side. And the HOA is very competitive at $42 a month. This community does belong to the Georgetown ISD. It's a gas community, and both of these builders are offering some type of buyer incentive in the form of flexible cash that you could use to help buy down the interest rate or help pay for some closing costs. And why that? It's important because in years past, let's use, for example, during the pandemic when we're in that low interest rate era, those incentives that the builders were offering were only for the upgrades for the home. You couldn't use them for anything else. But now we're in this high interest rate era for 2024. So now the builders are offering some flexible cash to help buy down that interest rate. So you can get an interest rate lower than what the news is saying and what the market's saying, because that's what the builders are using to incentivize people to, come and close and live in one of their homes. So that was the drone video for this community. Let me pause here and let me share my screen, because one thing I wanted to point out here on the map, because this is such a small community, there's not going to be an amenity center or a pool or anything like that. So what are you going to do if you have kids, and where are you going to take them so they can burn off energy? So let me show you something cool that I found out when I was touring these homes. Check out these two parks. Right, you have Highcrest Meadow Park and you have University Park. This is within walking distance. This is definitely within a bike ride distance from this community, so you can take the kids to burn off energy, right? And even though these parks belong to the HOA for this subdivision, they're open, and they're open to you, right? Of the few people that have moved in already, they're definitely using these parks themselves, according to the salesperson that I spoke to, which is a huge plus. So that shouldn't be a deal breaker. And you could kind of see there's even some more bigger parks that are probably not within walking distance, but within a nice little 5-minute drive from this community. So that's a nice plus. So on top of it being close to parks, so your kids can burn off energy and they won't drive you nuts, look how close you are to downtown Georgetown. If you've never been to Georgetown before, Georgetown is probably one of the prettiest cities there is around. You're very close to Round Rock, Texas, which is another great city because they're both just very well established. There's tons of things to do, both indoors and outdoors. I mean, Georgetown, let's say for Georgetown, they have very famous, very beautiful city square. It definitely gives you those small town vibes. This is where you would go for your coffee run, for fine dining, for entertainment. And this is the HEB that you would go to for your grocery shopping. That's all within, I would say, a 15-minute commute easily from where this community is located. So it's a very prime location to be close to all the modern conveniences, be close to parks for the kids, and you're in between two major highways. You have the 130 toll, right, and you have I-35. So chances are, if you don't work from home and maybe you have to commute, or you're maybe on a hybrid schedule, then you probably have to be going south to go to work, and you have two options here, right, which is awesome. If the I-35 is too congested, which chances are it will be, then you could take the I-130 toll as a workaround, right? And if you're probably working in the tech sector, you'll probably be right here in kind of like a little bit north of downtown Austin, where the Apple campus is. Indeed, you have Dell, and then you have Samsung here. So you would easily take the I-35 to get off on Palmer Lane to go to work. And that's not a huge commute. Let's see. Let me just do some measurements here. So from this community to, let's just say, Dell. If you work for Apple, let's see how far that is. That would be almost a 14-mile from this community, which isn't a bad commute time. Now, let's say maybe you might be working for Samsung, right? Because Samsung's moving in very close to Taylor, Texas, which is around here. That's again within 14 miles. So again, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. If you're looking at it, if you have to commute to work and you're going south, right? But if you work from home, a lot of these floor plans do have a home office or a study that you could use to work from. Now, inventory wise, this is my MLS. This is they've been closing slowly and steadily since the last 90 days. So that's the search parameters I did for this community, right? Highcrest Meadow West in Georgetown. And let's say from May, they had four closings, right? They had 4 closings in May, and in June they just had 1, and in July they just had 1. Right? Now this kind of data is a little bit inaccurate because Pointe Homes unfortunately does not post their listings on the MLS. Everything's on their website. So if you go on their website, you could see that they have what they have coming up is all kind of slated for the fall of this year. So moving in September 2024, October 24. So that's definitely later in the year, more closer to the fall for move-in ready homes. But the model is ready, and we can definitely tour that, so you can see what the Garner floor plan looks like. You could see what the quality of the build, and I really liked the Garner floor plan when I was touring it. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see Chesmar Homes, their model. I will circle back to them, but oh yeah, one thing I almost forgot to mention was, let's say here, like, so these green A's is what they currently have active. This is all Chesmar Homes, not Pointe. So right now, 414,000 all the way up to 500,000. If that's within your budget and you like this community so far, then let's definitely schedule a time to go towards the model homes, right? And check this out. This is why you shouldn't let this, if 414,000 is just a little bit above your budget, you shouldn't let that stop you, because check this out. Look at the list price compared to what it closed, right? From 434,000, and it closed at 422. 410,000 was what it was offered at, but it closed at 395, right? So if you're within, I would say 5 to 10% of 414,000, then this community could still be a potential fit. It could fall within your budget, depending, because it's not closing with what they're pricing at, right? And if we kind of mess with the numbers a little bit with the incentives, because if we can help decrease that interest rate for your mortgage, we can increase your purchasing power. Now, I know it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive what I just said there, but I'll break that down for you a lot more simpler during our consultation when we're doing like our virtual call, so I can really help explain that. But what you should do next, right? So if you like this community and you think it might be a good potential fit because it checks a lot of the boxes, what should you do next? If you're a buyer, you're looking to buy within the next 30, 60 days, definitely give me a call. Text me first because I'm usually in the middle of running around with clients, and that way we can I'll get back to you just in a better time frame than just give me a phone call. But the virtual consultation is probably by far the best way for us to spend our time, right? So we can have a very meaningful conversation, and I can really share my screen. I can show you a little bit more. We could take a deeper dive into the numbers. We could take a closer look at what the incentives look like, and I can break down what some of the options are for what you could do with these incentives, right? And that way we get that one-on-one time, right? My consultations usually run about an hour because I'm asking a lot of questions. We're kind of going through this kind of self-discovery mode of what your criteria is. What do you want to get out of the house? What do you want to get out of the community that you're moving into? Because all of these new construction communities have a different vibe to them. They have a different feel to them. And I want to make sure that we're finding something that checks all your boxes and that's within your budget so you're not house poor. That's how I roll. So I have all my information to contact me in the description. Again, that virtual consultation is probably the best way for us to move forward. And oh yes, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to keep up with all things new construction here in the Austin area, I drop videos weekly because I do all of my own editing. I do all of my own recording. I do it all from A to Z. That's why I'm able to really push out these videos on a weekly basis. And why is that important to you, the buyer? Because a lot of times with these new builds and these incentives, they're very time sensitive. And if sometimes I've seen it where the incentive is only for that weekend or for that month. And if you're not subscribed and have that notification bell turned on, then you're simply gonna miss out. And I don't want you to miss out, especially if you're looking for a new build, because that's where all the best deals are gonna be had, in my opinion, because the builders are just bigger players and they have more play when it comes to the financial part of buying a home. So that's it for this video. I really appreciate you for watching. Again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with eXp Realty, and I'll catch you on the next one.